Every day, excessive delays and denials from big insurers keep patients from accessing the care they need. And when care is urgent, these delays can be disastrous. These practices cost billions in wasteful spending, driving up costs for American families. But while big insurers put up barriers, America's hospitals and health systems are in your corner, navigating endless reviews and appeals to get you the care you need when you need it most. It's time to curb these harmful practices and put the focus back on patients. Brought to you by the Coalition to Strengthen America's Healthcare.
We're back on the Yaffee program, News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM WVNN. We're also online, WVNN.com. You can catch us on the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn Radio app, or any of your smart devices, Siri, Alexa, Google, whatever it is you use. You can catch us there as well. And it's the last segment of the show, so let's do it. We have the Yaffee program Rewind. We started the show talking about the latest in Iran. Apparently, military operations have ramped up in the Strait of Hormuz as President Trump is frustrated with his European allies because they're not really helping us. But we really got to get it open because that's kind of the one thing. If we can get the Strait of Hormuz open, Iran has nothing else. They have nothing else in their playbook against us. This is the one thing that they believe they can use as a leverage. And if we can get rid of that, they have nothing left. I mean, really. So hopefully this works. And I keep telling people it's hard because gas prices being high, it sucks. But the war's been going on for 3 weeks. There are always going to be setbacks in war. There are always going to be sacrifices. There are always going to be struggles. And the fact of the matter is, in terms of relative to history, and I'm not just saying history of the last 1,000 years, I'm saying history of the last 30 years. We have had to sacrifice as a country very, very little to defeat a very, very bad enemy, an evil enemy in Iran. So President Trump commented on this yesterday. Go ahead if you can, Walker. Play a Trump cut 1 for me.
No, I'm not putting troops anywhere. If I were, I certainly wouldn't tell you. I wanted to put out that fire. And I said, if I do that, oil prices will go up, the economy will go down a little bit. I thought it would be worse. Much worse, actually. I thought there was a chance it could be much worse. It's not bad, and it's going to be over with pretty soon.
All right, there you go. So he's saying even the problems we've had, he thought it was going to be a lot worse, but it's going to be over soon. And then he also talked about the allies helping him. Play a cut 2 of Trump.
We're defending the strait for everybody else. And then in the case of NATO, they don't want to help us defend the strait, and they're the ones that need it. But now they're getting much nicer because they're seeing my attitude. They're getting much nicer. But it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's too late. We've had tremendous support and relationship with Japan on everything. And I believe that based on statements that were given to us yesterday, the day before yesterday, having to do with Japan, they are really stepping up to the plate.
All right, so we talked a lot about that at the beginning of the show. If you missed it, well, this is the time of the show. I'll remind you, you can get the podcast anywhere podcasts are available. Just go to, actually the easiest way, go to WVNN.com. Check it out there. I also post it on my social media, so you want to like the Yaffee Facebook page or follow me on X at Yaffee or Instagram at Yaffee Live. Then we have the Alabama bullet points, the top stories from around the state. One of the stories that I had in the bullet points is in the Alabama House, a bill called the SAVE Act. Different from the Save America Act. This is kind of an Alabama version, but it would basically enforce closed primaries in Alabama. It passed the Alabama House. Not sure if it's going to make it through the Senate, but I had the details of that in the bullet points, and you can check that out, the podcast of that. Then we spoke with Brad Presnell, who was a political consultant. We had the tragic news that Chuck Norris has died at age 86. And it's interesting, though, because Brad used to work for Mike Huckabee's campaign years ago, and he actually got to meet Chuck Norris and told a kind of funny story about that. So we had that when Brad was on. If you missed that interview, the podcast of the interview is up. Then, yes, it'd been a while. I did something that made Yaffee laughy, and I If you missed it, the podcast is up. But actually, I kind of want to play it here again because I thought it was pretty good. A friend sent this to me. So go ahead if you can, Walker. Play Next Ayatollah. This was something that made Yaffee laughy.
No one wants to be next Ayatollah. So tired of bombs and living in a hole. We support whoever it might be, as long as it's them and not me. I'm not qualified, so go away. Turn off that phone or we will die today. No one wants to be next Ayatollah. Me not qualified, that's what I told ya. Ayatollah title good for resume, but not so if I must die today.
All right, so there you go. I thought that was pretty funny. So if you missed it, the podcast of that's up as well. We had the legendary Will Hampson on that interview. The podcast of that is up. What's trending? Also, appreciate you listening to the show. I was glad to be back. So thanks to Walker for producing as well. And I will be back on Monday. So see you then.
The Yaffee Program.
When you really need care, you need 24/7 access to a care team, not a maze of paperwork from a third party. Every day, America's hospitals and health systems show up for you. Navigating healthcare can feel overwhelming, but you can count on real doctors, real nurses, real people, providing quality, around-the-clock care when you need it most. They're in your corner, in communities across America. Your neighbors, your lifelines, right beside you, holding your hand and helping find answers. That's what putting patients first actually means. Learn more at strengthenhealthcare.org. Brought to you by the Coalition to Strengthen America's Healthcare.
Hey, football fans, it's Cam Hayward from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I still remember what draft night felt like for me. The nerves, the waiting, and then hearing my name called knowing everything was about to change. The 2026 NFL Draft presented by Bud Light is coming to Pittsburgh, April 23rd to the 25th. Enjoy 3 days of football, family fun, and the moment draft dreams come true. Register for free entry at nfl.com/draft access. Maybe I'll see you there.